Residents of New London, it has been 30 years since the Great Storm. It has been 30 years of ice, of wind. It has been 30 years since our survival has not been guaranteed, and now we face a new threat to our city and our city's future, and that is human nature. The city must not fall. The city must not fall. You will take the role of steward. As the city grows, you must create new laws. Your people will slowly divide into factions, but you must keep them safe. You must keep them warm. The city must not fall. Hello and welcome to another DLC. I'm your host today, Joey Fitz, and we are diving into the world of Frostpunk 2. Now, I would like to give a huge thank you to our friends over at 11-Bit Studios and Game.Press for the review copy of the game. You guys are awesome and cool as hell. Frostpunk 2 is obviously a sequel to Frostpunk 1, and Frostpunk 1 was a bit of a revelation. It hit us like a wind-chilled freight train. It was a gritty survival city builder where you weren't just managing resources, you were managing souls. Every decision you had a name attached to it. Do you decide to heat the orphanage or the medical post? Do you send a sick father into the mines, or do you give him one more day with his family? Frostpunk 1 was a game about brutal individual consequences, but Frostpunk 2, it is not about the individuals anymore. 30 years on since the Great Storm, and society has moved on from individuals, and it's about rebuilding. This game is about systems, ideologies, and movements. This is macro survival. So 30 years after the first game, Frostpunk 2 shifts the survival narrative from the personal to the political. The weather is as unforgiving as ever, the cold is still merciless, but the people, they've evolved. They've built society, and with society comes ideology. With society comes ideology, governance, conflict, and ambition. You're not a mayor anymore. You're not even a glorified coal foreman. You're the steward, the political spine of an entire city, trying to transition from mere survival to civilization. Instead of huddling masses and personal sacrifice, you're dealing with factions, doctrines, and council politics. Let's talk gameplay. The city building core remains. Constructing districts, managing resource change, and ensuring heat and food and productivity. But it's now layered with dynamic political systems. Laws aren't just about keeping kids out of work, they're about shaping the fabric of your city. Your council chambers are now one of the most terrifying places in the game. Ideological factions grow, evolve, and clash. You have to choose between your ethics, how rational you are, or you can stamp out dissent and become a chilly dictator. With every law passed, every policy chosen, pushes your society close to prosperity or collapse. The UI, whilst busy, is sharp and intuitive. Everything from heat maps to faction support meters feels smoother than Frostpunk 1, and it means that the tension is constant, but the tools themselves are very precise. So here's the core difference again, and it's very important. Frostpunk 1 was about saving people. Frostpunk 2 is about saving a people. You don't have time to grieve one dead worker because there will be many. You'll be managing coal unions, dealing with food riots, negotiating the rise of radical sects. It's about systemic survival, and its philosophy meets logistics. The emotional punch is still there, but now it comes from watching your city divide, not just watching it die. The writing is really clever. The factions speak with terrifying conviction, and every law feels like a blade, often double-edged and sharpened by each consequence. Exploration has been overhauled in Frostpunk 2. You're not just sending scouts anymore, you're expanding your civilization. The map grows, and your reach grows with it. Your problems grow each time you expand your city too. Diplomacy? trade, and military defense? Yes, and sometimes, most of the time, yes. There's an ambition here that is slightly different to Frostpunk 1. Frostpunk 2 is not just a survival sim, it's a socio-political sandbox, and your fire burns at the heart of a volatile new world. The visuals of Frostpunk 2 are beautiful. The city expands horizontally, with distinct districts that pulse with life, conflict and hunger. The frost creeps across your screen and the lights flicker in the snow glow, and the silence between decisions is filled with the weight of thousands. And the silence between each of your decision is filled by the consequences that you know it will leave upon your people. The soundtrack is excellent. The music swells with dread, hope and power, and it's orchestral tension at its finest. Make sure you play this with headphones so you don't lose half the experience. Frostpunk 2 is not Frostpunk 1. Where the first game grabbed our heart, this one seizes our conscience. Where the first made you feel like a parent, this one makes you feel like a founder or a tyrant, depending on the path you choose. This is an evolution, not a repetition, and it is magnificent. If Frostpunk 1 was a survival story, then Frostpunk 2 is the birth of an ideology. It's smart, it's brutal, and it demands every minute of your time. But if you've played Frostpunk 1 and enjoyed it, don't come here expecting more of the same. The city must not fall. The city must not fall. The city must not fall.
Steward. Honourable Steward.
Steward! Steward?
Almighty Steward. Do you hear us, Steward?
Do you hear us?
Steward, are you listening? Steward? The great storm wiped the world clean.
Let's take it back.
But how?
The steward'll choose our path.
Steward, build us a better home.
A home for everyone! Steward, we still lack so many things.
People are starving.
More people, more mouths to feed.
They treat us like animals, left to suffocate.
We need a place to work.
Who else will feed our families?
Steward, this squalor will kill her.
Steward!
Where are the homes you've promised?
Can we all receive equal rations?
Hospitals are not a place for experiments. Free education for our children.
Secure and stable growth. City for the citizens.
Steward, hear your people.
We want a say in how we run the city.
The time of tyranny has ended.
Our delegates will make sure of that.
Let them vote.
Yes, vote.
Steward,
Do you hear us? Steward, what about us?
What?
Impossible.
Steward? Did you hear that? The city. The city was not